We have to be quiet. Cringe's kids are asleep. Her sister and brother are sound asleep. Shh. All right, here we go. Let's make sure this is rolling here. Nope, not that. All right. Let's get this going. Okay, we're looking good there. All right. Excellent. Perfect. Hey, my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and welcome. This is our Monday edition of the Daily Draw. We get to, hey Geraldine, good to see you're in. We get together every Monday afternoon, 2 p.m. my time, here on the East Coast of the United States. And we take a look at all things that have to do with natural things on Monday. Just a quick review. We look at things that are natural on Monday, man-made on Tuesday, portrait on Wednesday, Thursday is always character design, and Friday is animals, okay? So today we're going to look at 3 types of barks. Hey, Teresa, yes, it's evening, okay. We're going to look at 3 types of barks. We're going to look at pine, birch, and then kind of like, I don't know if it's oak or willow, but you'll get the idea when we get there. But these are 3 common textures, and I'm going to show you how to draw them. All right, so let's talk about trees. And this first picture I have up front here, this actually is a really bad picture. Okay, it's a bad picture because we have no dimension going around this tree, and oh, look at that. Scott just tuned in. He just wants to stop on by, and congrats for 2,000 subs here on YouTube. Yes, that's quite the achievement. I'm very grateful. Okay, so this is too flat looking. We don't want to we don't want to draw something that's flat. So, for example, let me just talk about lighting. Let's say I'm standing up and I'm looking out this way. So here is, let's do this. Here I am. There's my shoulders, and that's the way that I'm looking, okay? This tree is like right here in front of me. And the light is really kind of dissipated, but we're getting a lot of light coming in the way that I'm looking right here. That's not a great way to draw because you're not getting a nice shadow. What you really want to do is get your light to be coming across from you. This way, whatever object you're drawing, one side's going to be in shadow and one side's going to be in light. That's a great way to take a picture. Now, if I'm going to look at this thing straight on, then it would be like this, where this side is going to be in shadow and the right side is going to be in light. So if you ever find yourself in a group that you're drawing a model or something like that, or you have some still lifes up on stage. Let's say if you had a ball and then you had a cube over here, right? And maybe you had a vase back here, something like this. You always want to make sure your light is coming in generally from one side. That way, all of these objects are going to be in shadow, okay? So there's a little something regarding lighting things that you want to be aware of. But today we're going to really talk about trunks and their different textures and how you can draw these different textures, all right? So let's start off with this pine tree here, the sugar pine. And let's just come in here with the sides of this trunk here, okay? And what I want you to do is when you draw this, I want you to be aware of this idea. I want you to be aware of the areas that are in between. You see, the in between these the bark there. All right, it's all part of the bark, but you get what I'm saying. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and add. Start thinking about this bark by adding small strokes. And we want to break these up. Just you can look at the picture and just kind of get an idea as they get closer to the edge, they get a little bit closer together. And some strokes are longer. And you can even see some of these will go straight up the tree as a pattern. But you want to have all these little small, shorter strokes. I love how you don't care how much views. Oh, I do a little bit, but that's not important. Those, you know what, CG, the views will come in time. Right now it's really the Facebook group is important to me, because in that context I can actually talk to people and look at their work and stuff. YouTube is more of a vehicle that allows me to do live and post videos, where it's just the most popular. All right, I'm just going off on this and that. All right, so, but as I get to the edge here, you can see that I'm bringing my lines a little bit closer together. So that's the first thing that you want to do. And you really want to pay attention to, you want to pay attention. That was the cat there. You want to pay attention to the bark. All right. So that's step one. All right. Next, what we want to do is then we're going to come in here and add these different. We're going to start adding like diagonal lines a little bit that connect these. Yeah, over the weekend, my wife. Here, take that down. You can look at that there. Over the weekend, my wife took the cat in for a vet appointment, and they cut his nails a little bit because they got too long, and now he can't claw people anymore. Oh, you're gonna grab some food? Okay, all right. And I will go fast. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good, CG. All right, so you see what I'm doing. I'm just slowly connecting these different squares now. And then the last step would be to come in here and I can add shadow, or really start to think of the thickness that's in between some of these. Just a process, like anything else. You know, this is, I think, where drawing gets to be, well, if you don't have to draw 1,000 trees like this, it's kind of enjoyable. Of course, if you're doing a book that might be all about in the woods, and you might end up having to do this for weeks, that would get pretty monotonous. But for 10 or 15 minutes, it's kind of fun. All right, so the last thing I want to do, if I was going to continue down this process, I'm going to add some tone to the side of this tree here. I should have already done this earlier, but this is going to help to add to the roundness of my tree. And I know it's not in the picture, but just by adding some tone on the sides of these branches, this trunk will help to make it seem like it's round, okay? And even on the very edge here, I don't want this line to be perfectly smooth. I'm gonna break it up with a little texture because that is the way that this trunk is, you see? All right, so there's a sugar pine for you. Okay, let's go ahead and bring up our next picture. Okay, these are more of an aspen type of tree, and they're really known for their round. Their bark comes off in sheets. All right, so let's go ahead and draw a couple of these. So there's the width of my trunk there, and we'll put another guy in the back here, a little skinnier, right? And then another guy back here maybe. Now these guys have some nice shadow, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's add, before we get into this, I always like to add a little tone on my drawing where some of the shadow might be before I start adding a lot of detail. I forgot to do that on the pine tree. Okay, that's a good place to start some tone. Okay, so in this case, these guys, let's just say this is going to be my tree trunk. The rings that are looking right at me are going to be straight, but then as they start to get higher up, we're going to start getting these surface lines that this bark goes around. Look at this, down here, it's starting to go around. So we want to be aware of that. That's going to help give it dimension. All right, so let's start down here in the middle and just let's put a couple lines in here so we really can get a sense of what's above our eye line and what's below. Okay. Okay, come on, let's get some of this negative shape in here. Okay. So there I'm curving it just a little bit. Really trying to look for that variety. You got sick. Oh, she's back. He's back. Okay. Variety is the key. Stay away from pattern. All right, here's one. Let's get this other one. Let's go a little bit further back now and get this other one in. Again, I'm going to kind of establish where my eye line is. And then slowly add surface lines so that I have a sense of what's below and what's above. You really have to pay attention to get your lines to go around the trunk. You even got some branches coming out, and when I draw those, I push down and I pull up. So 1, 2, 3. One thing you want to avoid when you're drawing branches, you don't want to do this sort of thing, where you got them coming out at the same point. Though that happens, I just think it's far more interesting to go opposites just a little bit. It makes for a better drawing. Get some nice silhouettes on the side of your tree there. Oh, this is a happy accident that just happened. Look at this. I'm gonna point this out with an arrow here so you can see what accidentally happened. I've got this great reflective light happening there. So look at this. Let's try and recreate that. Let's recreate that right here, okay, with intention. So I'm going to come in here with a little bit of dark value. And then I'm going to jump into the background here and make sure, or just thicken up the side of the line there, you see? It is dark and shadow. That's what I'm thinking right now. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so there you go. That adds some really cool. And you can even look at this. Bring this out as branches that are coming up along the side there. Woo! That's pretty neat looking, huh? All right, that's birch. I'll leave that up. Let's move that down now. And let's bring up the last one here. Okay. This one is exciting because it's so it has all kinds of great looking knots on it. All right, so let's start off with getting an overall containment line, right? Coming down here. This is kind of like a gesture. Okay, so this tree looks like it has 3 big chunks to it. So you're gonna kind of get one here, and then maybe smaller one like this. Look at that. So look at these. This is variation. This is important. Look at the variation in width there to that, and then a little bit smaller. You see, I'm kind of thinking through this. This is what I need you to do, is to concentrate of getting variation. All right. All right, we got some branches coming over here. Now, in this case, I want you to think of bark cascading down. All right, it's a little bit of a combination of both. So what we have here is maybe it's coming around like that. You see, and it cascades down, and I'm thinking surface lines here. All right. It's also going across the surface. Look at this. This all could be in shadow back here because it's on the outside of the tree. This could be shadowed. Okay, this side over here is much lighter. Do you see that? Look at that. That's lighter. This is darker. This is a good tree to practice that on. So let's drop in some tone here. Let's get our tone right. If we get our tone right, that's gonna tone and value. I use those very interchangeably. All right, let's look at this. There's a Y, and this branch is going off in this direction. I'm kind of jumping all over my tree here because I want to bring it up at the same. I want to bring it up at about the same time. All right, take a little nap, CG. Look, this branch is going off in the distance back there. You see this? Overlap. More tone. More tone. Think of cascading down water. Where is that water going? See, I'm just slowly working it. All right, sounds good. Slowly working this. I'm going across it and down it. All right, I think that's going to do it for today. That should get you warmed up here to work on these different trees here. So we've took a look at a sugar pine tree. We looked at a kind of an aspen tree, and lastly, we've looked at this. I don't know, an oak tree maybe. I'm not sure what kind of tree this is, but you get the idea. Each one has its own individual pattern, bark pattern, and it really changes the look of your drawing as you introduce a variety of different trees. All right. Hey, today's Monday. My name's Kurt. I'm a Daddy Draws. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see y'all later. CG. Who else was here? Teresa jumped in. Scott jumped in. Geraldine jumped in. All right. Right back at you guys. Have a great day, okay? Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. You want to look at the pine again? Yep. You better believe it. Let's do it again. All right, let's bring up the pine. See, this is why I love going live. When you guys have a question, we could address it. All right, let's do it again, Geraldine. All right. So pine. All right, let's. No, don't worry about it. No, we're gonna extend it a little bit. Let's do pine. All right, so get your tree trunk just like this. Okay. Get your tree trunk. Now, as I said earlier that this pine tree is not really lit very good. It's blank. It's like the light is just all over it. So, but on ours, let's just add a little bit of tone to the outside edges here, just like this. And it can be rough. Okay. Just something like that, okay? And then let's think of like small little hash marks, all right? So hash marks would be something like this. And we're gonna, something like that, you see? And you wanna look at the tree and try and like, if you get lost in the bark, that's totally okay. Just keep looking at a little area there, and you want to add these little hash marks. Okay. Now, when you get to the edge of the tree, you want to make these things to get a little bit closer together because they're starting to become foreshortened. Same thing on this side. Okay. All right, next. Now you want to come back in with like, you want to come in with angles now, you see? Might even be straight, some of these. Oops. Okay, straights. And then you want to come in, last thing you want to do is add some shadow. So these things, some of these things will get thicker than others. Look to your reference. All right, now I'm going to add just a little bit more texture now. A little bit of tone on the... And then right when I get to the edge out here, this is where I like to really kind of darken in and get some nice silhouettes possibly of things that are going on there. I think the key is just to go slowly when you're doing this. Okay? Geraldine, hope that helps. If you need to take a look, it's also the beginning of the video as well. All right, now there you go. Hey, go out there, make your day great. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.